But I haven't run down the public sector.
No, I'm only telling you what differentiates you from the man who works in the public sector is because you knew that if you disobey, you are going to be punished.
So the public sector don't get punished?
Of course, the rules will be true. You need to issue first query, second query, subject them, and even when they punish, sometimes your kids and king will come that is victimization, it is political gain, it is this. So all kind of settlement comes. But if it happens to you here, you take your destiny in your hands. You carry your bag and baggages and go. You are not going to cry to the Olubad of Ibadan that have been sacked by channel television. You will not do that. So the moment we realize that, we will begin to function well as a country. For instance, I believe that if we build a refinery here in Lagos, look at the toll gate that is going on now. If the government is making money from it, the private sector is making money from it. So if you build a refinery in Lagos, you don't hand them over to plutocrats, those who are excessively rich. No, get professionals. Run it, what I can call BOT. Build it, get professional to run it, operate it, and then you can transfer it to them later, maybe after 10 years or 20 years, and they can pay back. Oh. Sometimes it beats me hollow when I see a board of internal revenue saying we have earned so much from taxes, from this. Mm-hmm. How many companies have come on bosses for the period under review? Nothing. So
are you saying that?
So they're just collecting money from pay as you earn and all. That's not what makes, and that's why the economy is not growing.
Yeah, but they raise a valid point. If they can do that in the third quarter, if they can surpass their targets in the third quarter, doesn't that mean that money alone can fund that budget?
Can you ask them where the money is coming from?
So is it fictitious?
Next time ask them where that money is coming from. And how is the money going to be? No, next time, when I'm not to tell you.
Yeah, but what do you think? Where do you think it's coming from?
For me, I think it's just paperwork.
Paperwork?
Yes.
That's
because
huge.
We are crying that we want to go and borrow. We are crying that we don't have enough money. So if they say they can get that kind of money, so why are we still crying? You see, I think we have reached a level of development in this country where we need to tell ourselves the truth. Where we should not play politics with everything. I want to keep my job, therefore I need to lie. No, it shouldn't be so.
Do you think that the Federal Inland Revenue Service is lying?
Of course. If it's not lying, let them publish facts for facts, how those money came about.
But you know,
you haven't asked. That's one. And then two, they have said that people have acknowledged that there have been huge reforms in the revenue sector, in the inland revenue sector of Nigeria.
With the new tax policy that the government put in place.
Okay. If that is true, okay, I give it to them because I don't have all the facts in my hand. But I can say this. What you need for a solution, you see, it's not much of paperwork, but what we can see. What we see today is hardship. What we see today is people who are unemployed. What we see today is the rich can no longer sleep. The rich can no longer sleep. Look at our security situation today. 90% of our security agents today, carry on with the colonial mentality or guarding politicians, because under the colonial, they were made to protect the British colonial masters. And that is the same mentality. Not even you and I. If you see the concentration of police, for instance, in this Lagos, they are going to be concentrated largely in Ikoyi and this area, rather than Akongonjo and some other area where you really have the huge population. So that mentality, it should begin to change. We should begin to go practical in what can give us solution.
Yeah, but do they have to legislate or amend the laws for the states to know that they need industries in their respective states?
But the state will tell you that the 68 items, that their hands are tied, that even when the mineral is situated under their belly, they have no right to tamper with it.
But do they don't have to talk about minerals, set up industries.
No, they don't need. But you see, you see, everything boils down to capacity. What were the pedigrees of these state governors and state houses of assembly, national? What's their pedigree? If you see the few ones that are doing well, you know they have some experience, or they have too much resources at their disposal. So these are the two things.
So the leadership recruitment process also comes into question.
Of course, not just the leadership, the capacity of the individual. So the National Assembly, I still believe, is our saving grace, because when people talk about the constitutional reforms and things that are not constitutional, then you are advocating for anarchy. But we have a window of opportunity to make sure that those who go to the National Assembly are men and women of impeccable character, those who can make sacrifice. It should not be a place for the unemployed. It should not be a place for applicants. It should not be a place for money making. And the irony, unfortunately, if you watch the trend, the turnover rate in the National Assembly, those who are vocal, those who are vociferous, those who are who see lawmaking with passion, are usually not returned. But it's the mute legislators who cannot even argue one motion on the floor are the ones who will pander to pecuniary interests, who will be able to buy their way again back to the National Assembly. That is the irony. And if we continue to develop along this line, we will not grow, because a National Assembly is the symbol of democracy. If you don't have it, then you don't have democracy. Because all that structure will exist. The judiciary will be there, whether it's military, the executive will be there, whether it's... So we need, our emphasis now is to develop our lawmakers. We must begin to help them to grow capacity. We must begin to help them to de-emphasize from pecuniary interests, because this oversight with the aim of making money should not be there. Oversight should be pure oversight, as stipulated in Section 88 and 104 of the Constitution, for people to sit right. Because we expect a minister of the Federal Republic being appointed by the president to do what is right. So oversight does not mean that we have to be on your neck all the time. It doesn't have to be so. We expect that they should do right.
What do you think about this discussion which they seem to be suggesting out there? True federalism, regional integration. Does any one of them? No,
I don't key into any of them, because if you create another layer of government today, you are going to create another layer of wastage. As I speak, for me, I believe our common patrimony should be targeted at development. What I mean is this. If the total amount of money that we have as a federation is 90 trillion naira, you tell me what you are doing in your state, I fund it directly. No money should be given to any tier of government. Let every tier of government go and generate its own revenue. Let every tier of government go and generate how much he needs to spend to pay. So if you generate 1 million and you want to use all of them as security for, so be it.
So what happens to our resources?
I'm saying that our national, as you see, let's look at our constitution today. Okay. Most of the resources are within the exclusive legislative, which means they are within the purview of the federal government. In sharing them, let us target what we want to do. There's this industrial area, for instance. Nothing stops government from having an IPP project that can, kickstart all those industries that are running away to Ghana and to Ivory Coast.